Now, the first game on our list is Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. I'm going to show you a few screenshots right here real quick, and I'm going to show you the gameplay of it. If you look, it's basically a hero collector / fragment collector type of game. Now, what you're going to be doing is building different teams, and as you build these teams, you're going to be getting stronger and stronger, unlock different content, including raids, PvP, PvE, you can join a guild, etc., like you would expect in these fragment type of games. Now, if you look at the gameplay, I want to show you why I'm actually recommending to give this one a try. The gameplay is a little bit more interesting because you don't control the characters. The characters control themselves. What you do is you use a few special abilities to kind of be the commander on top, like calling in airstrikes, stuff like that. It's really based upon how well you build the teams together, because some have synergies with each other, and how well you plan against what you're fighting against. For instance, if like you need stuns or a way to counter someone's healing ability if they have like continuous damage, or a mass healer or something like that. For this reason, this game actually does a pretty good job of making you interested as you play the game, even though you're not controlling the characters. And the reason I kind of like that is, personally, when I'm playing a lot of fragment or gacha games, a lot of the time I am autoing, or even at kind of the end game, you kind of just sit there and auto a lot. And if the game is really about making the decisions of the moves, each move, and it being tactical all the time, then you lose a lot of the core gameplay of actually playing the game. In this game, the whole game is basically auto. The characters play themselves like you would expect soldiers in a war to do, right? But you are controlling kind of the exterior commands, and you're the one who sets up the battles. And I kind of like that. It's a little bit of a divergent from the standard fragment collector, while still staying kind of in that same path. You might enjoy it. Give it a shot. If anything, it's worth free to playing for a bit. I think I put like $20, maybe $30 into the game. It's probably not worth it to put any money in the game, I don't think, but it is fun to play. And you might like it more than you would think if you get into it. I'm still passively playing it a little bit on the side, and I don't regret the time I've put into it, even though I really haven't made videos or anything on it until this point. All right, this next game I absolutely love. This is Among Us. It's a free game on iPhone, anywhere, basically. It's just a free game. You see, remove the ads, and it's like $2, okay? But I love this game. It's a great like toilet game if you got a few minutes. Basically what you do here, I'll show you, is it's a imposter / whodunit type of game, okay? So if you join the game, you're either going to be a crewmate or an imposter. And if you're a crewmate, your job is to figure out who the imposters are, right? And if you're an imposter, your job is to either kill everyone else or sabotage. You see, I'm a crewmate, and there's one imposter. Now we're going to have to run around and figure out who the imposter is. And if we don't do that, well, then, they win. So if we complete all our tasks, you see here it tells me I have to swipe my card, and I think that's over here, if I remember right. It's somewhere in here. It's one of you, and I have to go and do my crew tasks, but I run a risk of coming across the imposter, and I don't know who he is unless I catch him doing something, right? So I have to use this here, and let me go ahead and, there we go, accepted the diverted power. See, any of these guys could be an imposter sabotaging something, I wouldn't know. Oh, see, someone just reported a body found. So now what happens is we all have to, if you've ever played Town of Salem, it's very similar to that. So you'd be like, what's going on, right? This is a great mix of like murder mystery type of game, and so they say it's Brad. I'm Brad. It's not me. Are they going to vote me? 4 skipped and 4 voted on me. So no one was ejected because it was a tie. If one more person had voted on me, I would have been booted off, right? But the imposter still remains if somebody died. So you get how it works. If I get all my tasks done, and everyone else gets their tasks done, and these green bar goes to completed, then we win the game. And it's in fun, okay? You're gonna have to take my word for it. Once you start playing it, it's actually quite enjoyable. And it can be, if you play with a few friends, it can very quickly kind of become a hoot, or, take a shot or something every time someone dies. I don't know, that's probably a terrible idea, actually. Ooh, task completed. All right, on to the next game. Next game on the list is Genshin Impact. This one has some pretty heavy-hitting pros on it, but also, to be honest, some heavy-hitting cons as well. So let's go through them. The pros of this game is it can really be the first of its genre, which is a massive open-world, multiplayer, free-to-play action RPG game. Big mouthful there, but basically it's a Breath of the Wild style game that you can bring your friends into, okay? Ever since Breath of the Wild, people have been trying to capture that style game, and Craftopia just came out on Steam as well. A lot of people really like that art look and want more from Breath of the Wild, and these type of games are trying to fill that in. Okay, you can say it's heavily inspired, you can say it's rip-off, whatever you want. It does look very similar, okay? But it is a different style of game. It is not a single player only, it is a multiple player, multi-platform type of game, which will be nice. If you look here, it looks like there's class systems and everything. So we should be able to deal with different types of characters with different abilities like a gacha-based game. Those are the pros. The cons I've heard is that the gameplay can actually be somewhat buggy, that the controls are not there quite yet, and that even though the art looks good, they could have done more with it. It's kind of generic looking. I mean, every character looks like the most standard anime character you've ever seen, and they have this amazing game engine, but yet they choose to just give a giant wolf and a giant flaming sword. So those are kind of the negatives. I'm still going to be playing this game when it comes out, and I'm sure plenty of other people are going to be doing that as well. Now, this is a game I didn't expect me to be recommending, but Call of Duty Mobile Season 10 has just come out yesterday, and it's actually really fun. I'm never really a big Call of Duty guy, but shout out to my boy Johnny. I was playing it with a friend lately, and I found myself having tons and tons of fun and playing this game like all day long. Give it a shot if you haven't yet. Call of Duty Mobile isn't too bad as a first-person shooter. You can customize all of the controls anywhere you want, so if you have an iPad or iPhone, you can make it fit perfect. Give it a shot right here, Google Play, iOS, downloadable for free. Now, Eve Echoes just launched as of August 13th last month, and this game is borderline amazing. I've been playing this with my corporation, shout out to the WellPod, and we've been dominating our space. This game is a gigantic, hundreds of thousands. There's actually 5 million pre-downloads. People on a singular server. You can find people anywhere you go. There's mining, PvP, PvE. You can just build ships. You can do basically anything you want in Eve Echoes, which is extremely exciting because in this game, you make the excitement. You figure out what you want to do. You're like, do I want to go fighting other people? Do I want to just be a space truck hauler and haul things? Do I want to buy and sell for a living? Do I want to be the head of a corporation? Do I want to be a spy? Do I want to defend people? The reviews it got are very bad because unfortunately people didn't realize this aspect, and the game does a very bad job in the beginning of holding your hand and telling you exactly what to do. So if you look at the reviews and you see a lot of these bad reviews, still give it a try. If you look, it's people like this. It is a grind fest with no payouts and everything worthwhile is either hidden behind months of grinding, not actual exaggeration. That's true, because if this game gave you all the ships right in the beginning, the entire game would not be able to be played, as everyone would have in-game ships and just blow everyone up right off the bat. Unfortunately, they don't quite realize how the game system actually works. When you lose a real ship, you lose your ship. So people will take all their money, put it into one ship, fly out, then blow up and quit the game. You need to realize that this game, if you decide to play it, is half action, half intelligence, and figuring out exactly what are the right moves to make. It's not the best thing in this game to play it and mindlessly play it. This is a game that you fully focus on and will reward you based upon how much you actually focus on the game, figure out what the next path is to do, and you do all the correct optimal steps. For instance, we made investments just in the beginning of the game in the market by buying and selling, and we made billions and billions of ISK, and now our corporation is doing fairly well when it comes to the economy, whereas if somebody else had invested it differently, they would not have done as well. And for those reasons, I love this game because it gives you rewards for not only your thought process, but how well you execute it. And I think that's fair. And because skill is based upon how long you wait for your character to train, not how much money you put into buying the skill, you can't actually get paid to win out. You can only fly so good of ships. And for that reason, it really puts a cap on how much pay to win there is. Granted, the people that are pay to winning can blow up more times than the people who are free to play are able to, but the free to play people may be the better pilot, both in skill in real life as well as skill in the game. It's just start the game now. The sooner you start, the better it is. At the end here, I want to do a quick honorable mention shout out to Command & Conquer Rivals. This is an older game that in my opinion was pure trash when it came out, but has, I wouldn't say quickly because it's been out a while, but it has come back. The game seems more balanced now. They did a way of capping it so you don't get completely crushed by pay to win people right in the start. You get more drops now. And they have these rival rewards, which you get in little tournaments with local people. Local meaning like how close they are to your rank and stuff like that, how close they are to when they started, and you get rewards for it, aka they get better payouts now, okay? And the seasons restart, which means you can get more and more chests, and the balance is better. This is a really fun, live, real-time strategy game. It's kind of like Clash Royale, but you're left to right and you're battling over like a nuke in the middle, which will attack the other person's base. You see this nuke here, use it to blast the other person's base, or you can just rush and attack their base. And you actually control where the units go, and then they auto fire, right? But you control where they go. And you can control who they attack too. So it's kind of like a chessboard. Some people don't like it because it's hexagons and it can be a little confusing looking, but you can think of them like squares. It's basically the same thing. And you just fill up the board with your characters, you put them around, and the game's really fun, okay? But you have to, admittedly, you have to probably give it a good hour before you really understand what's going on. If you got that much time, give it a shot. Then once you learn it, it's really a fun casual game, as long as you don't, really rage when you lose. But the pay to win aspect will be at the higher level, okay? When you get to the higher level where the ranks are uncapped, then it's kind of pay to win. But once you're climbing through the even where I'm at now, I've played the game for like a year or something. Even now where I'm at, it's not really pay to win yet. So try this game out, Command & Conquer Rivals. It's fun. Don't put too much money in the game if you get suckered into it, okay? Because you never know when they're going to close these servers down. But it's fun. It's a fun game.